On Death's first day on the job, he was scorned by the very person he was about to collect, because the red-haired man wasn't completely dead yet. Feeling ashamed, Death retracted the 3 souls, then looked at his wrist to check the remaining time. He discovered the man still had 2.5 hours left to live. The cause of death would be dehydration under the scorching sun. This man would soon be roasted like beef jerky. Having foreseen the death, Death decided to wait it out. He put down his scythe and sat on a treasure chest. Curiosity drove Death to open the chest beneath him. Inside was the wealth the man had amassed over a lifetime. Even on the brink of death, the red-haired man refused to let anyone touch his belongings. Death almost pinched his finger while closing the chest and became furious. "You won't let me touch it, will you? Well, I'm going to touch it anyway." So he shoved the man aside and opened the treasure chest right in front of him. The weak man tried to stop him but could only lie down helplessly in the end. Death looked at the gold coins in his hands and suddenly got a wild idea. He started skipping the gold coins across the water. His skill achieved a perfect 5-skip combo. This made Death extremely happy. He grabbed more coins and continued to play. The man watched in agony as his hard-earned fortune was used as a plaything. He covered his eyes, unable to watch any longer. Suddenly, a large fish swam past. Death realized the gold coins could actually attract fish from the sea, so he decided to tie a coin to a rope and cast it into the sea to fish. To his surprise, the trick actually worked. But the fish's strength was incredible. Death was dragged straight into the water. He was forced to surf by the power of the large fish. Death absolutely fell in love with the feeling of surfing. The fish circled the small raft several times. Meanwhile, the red-haired man started to feel seasick. However, Death had no intention of stopping. But the fish didn't give him a choice. After 25 laps, even his shoes were gone. After all, he was still on the clock. When the fish neared the sail, Death grabbed the mast and then pulled the red-haired man forward. But while Death was surfing, the fish leaped from the water. To his shock, this monster fish was even uglier than him. It turned out the dorsal fin was just a lure. So, the ugly fish dragged the surfing Death along with it. The red-haired man was still trying to grab the falling gold coins. At that moment, the ugly fish suddenly veered towards a nearby island without warning. Seeing his mission was still incomplete, Death let go of the rope. The fish finally broke free and dived into the deep sea. However, the small boat accidentally slammed into the reef. The red-haired man was launched into the air, flying for several kilometers. He flew through a broken window, landing perfectly on a bar counter. Seeing the gold coins on the bar, the bartender immediately served up a mug of 1982 beer. At this moment, the red-haired man knew he was saved. Looking at the life-saving beer and the coins on the table, he decided that an adult doesn't have to choose. He wanted both. Meanwhile, Death was in deep trouble. Not only did his mission fail, but he was also tied up with the treasure chest and sunk to the bottom of the ocean.